I just wanted to look at a problem around the amount of travelling that women have to do to access maternity services where I live. And I've chosen to do this by looking at setting up an obstetric ultrasound service for the mums and increasing the choice around birth across Skye and Loch Elsh. So financially, my project would cost about $35,000 to set up. The saving to the NHS Highland is up to $300,000, and the saving for mums and babies is often priceless. This is the area in which I live. The Isle of Skye itself has a coastline of 350 miles, and it can take up to 2 hours to get off the island itself before you actually manage to get to the mainland to then continue your journey onto the obstetric unit, which is based in Inverness. Mums in early pregnancy, as some of you I'm sure will be aware, very often feel like this. And the last thing you want to do is travel 160 miles on windy roads to get to Inverness to obtain a scan, just to let you know whether your baby's okay and when this baby will be due. On the roads that we travel on are like this. This is the first main part of the road once you leave the Isle of Skye. So it is a journey that lasts about half an hour to 40 minutes, and there's one building en route. So you've got one access for contacting somebody if you need them. The intermittent mobile signal also creates a difficulty there. There are lots of red deer around, which are often involved in road traffic accidents. And as you can imagine, the conditions in the winter can become quite treacherous. After this period of road, you then hit a single track road, which again has the similar sort of risks involved with the deer, with the road conditions in the winter, and the poor mobile signal en route should you need to contact somebody. Mum also has this little one to contend with. You've got a little one jumping up and down on mum's bladder, which anybody that knows that has been pregnant will know can be quite uncomfortable. There are 2 public toilets en route, unless you want to use the bathroom of nature. Okay. All of that is to obtain a picture to make sure that you know that your baby's okay. We have about 120 mums a year that manage to reach 12 weeks pregnant through and carry on with viable pregnancies. Each of those mums, usually 99%, will opt to have at least 2 scans during their pregnancy. There will also be earlier scans, which I haven't accounted for. Mums with twins are ongoing problems. Obviously, the number of scans that they then have is increased. So scans for twins, for instance, will be fortnightly from about 22 weeks. So obviously the journeys that they have to make is vastly increased. I'd like to tell you a little story about one of our mums. Her name is Claire. She was a young mum in a steady relationship, found herself pregnant before she was planning to, so it was a bit of a shock for her. It took her a while to get her head around the pregnancy itself, and she was unsure of whether she wanted to continue with that pregnancy at the time. However, she managed to get her head around things and had good support and decided to take that pregnancy forward and was looking forward to the birth of the baby. Now, the first appointment that she received was an appointment for a dating scan through in Inverness. So excitedly, she got herself together, got in the car and set off. En route, unfortunately, Claire had quite a serious road traffic accident. She fractured her pelvis, she broke her leg, and she also broke her arm. During that episode, she miscarried, so she lost that pregnancy that had taken her so long to get her head around. Then Claire was placed on long-term pain relief, so she takes quite high doses of morphine now. She did manage to get herself pregnant again. Very much look forward to the birth of her baby. When baby was born, that baby had 10 days separated from her in the special care unit because of the withdrawal from the morphine that she was taking. And Claire is on a list for a hip replacement, but because she's only in her early 20s, they obviously don't want to do that at this moment in time, trying to maintain her with the pain relief that she's on at the moment. So we looked into doing a focus group to find out how many mums on how much of the community actually wanted this service locally. And we also looked into the need for a water birth or the provision of water for labour, which was something else that mums in high priority or told us was a high priority. And the nearest birthing pool to us is actually, again, in Inverness, and there's one for the 2,500, 3,000 births that there are. So often mums from Skye will travel across there, find out that somebody is in the pool, be unable to use it, so they've had a wasted journey. So the focus group, the top results for it were that 100% of all mums thought that there should be a scanning service locally on Skye. All of those mums would like the provision to be able to attend for the scans on Skye, although there was a small proportion of 16% who thought they quite liked to go through to Inverness for the scans because NHS Highland paid for their travelling expenses and they could do some shopping while they were there. And 83% of all mums said it was a good idea for Skye to have the birthing pool so that they could labour and deliver in water. I see myself as in a very privileged position to be able to enable mums to have a happy birth, their baby. And I'd like to enable them to do it in as risk-free a way as possible so that we get a nice end result. Thank you.